It's Mike and Sidekick here at the Frat House, and we're coming to you on the last Thursday of 2011, going into 2012 in a couple of days. Seems to me, tradition is you always got to have resolutions. People make resolutions all the time. And so we thought one of the things that we might do, just for the fun of it, hey, we're going to give you our 2012 sports resolutions presented by Mike and Sidekick. Go ahead, Sidekick, kick it off.
All right. Rams, get the #1 draft pick. Let's get some O-line. Let's get a championship done.
Alrighty, and right over. Hey, NFL, will you please, for God's sake, do something about the pass interference calls? I'm sick, sore, and tired of it. It seems like every downfield pass ends up in a flag. Defense has got to have a chance to get it.
I agree with you completely on that one. Please. Union, third year in the league. Let's try to get a championship this year. I'm proud we went to the playoffs this year. Championship next year. Let's get it done.
Alrighty. NHL, hey, you gotta bring back the red line, will you? Please? I mean, it's gonna slow the game down, I know, but hey, they're already saying it's gonna cut down on concussions. And frankly, I like a tighter defensive game. Get the two-line offside pass back in there. NHL, do it.
Undertaker, 20-0 WrestleMania this year, and then please retire.
That's a violation. Alrighty, Phils, would you do something with Joe Blanton, but just don't put him on the mound. He's got one more year on a contract of $8.5 million. Are you serious? Come on, there's got to be a hapless team out there that wants this guy. Let's get rid of him.
The Busch brothers, Kurt and Kyle. Next year, please try to keep your temper under control. Both of you almost found yourself on the unemployment line this year, so let's try to do better next year.
NCAA, you gotta fix this realignment issue. Are you serious? It used to be that we could tell our divisions by the region they were in. We've got San Diego State going to the Big East. Come on, this is ridiculous. Come on, man, that's nonsense.
Team Blood Pack, keep dominating the Frat House fantasy leagues. We got a NASCAR championship. We made it to the NFL fantasy playoffs. Let's keep racking up some playoffs.
Alrighty, and last but not least, come on, Maryland. Would you do something about these ugly, horrible, disgraceful Terrapins uniforms? They gotta go. Get rid of them. And there's our resolutions for 2012. Let's see if they, if any of them get listened to. I brought it up a couple of weeks ago, and I want to throw it in there one more time. We're, obviously the football season's ending this weekend. Fantasy's over. But, hey, NFL Fantasy Playoff Challenge, and all of you guys can jump in with us as well. We've already set up a Frat House League. We want, as thank you to all of you for following us. All you got to do, go in, like the Frat House, and send us a message, or send us your email, and I'll send you an invite. I'll make sure that happens.
Yep, and try to knock me off.
Blood Pack team wins. You got a couple of games you want to talk about that have some importance to this week, particularly in the luck lottery that you felt strongly about. San Francisco 49ers are 12-3, and they're playing at the St. Louis Rams, who are 2-13, and then you brought up the Indianapolis Colts, who are 2-13, and they're on the road at Jacksonville. Right. And you're looking at these two games, and you're saying, wait a minute, these two games have implications with regard to who's going to get that #1 pick in the NFL draft next year. So run it away with us.
Yeah, absolutely. My team's the Rams. They're up against 49ers this week. Odds are they're going to lose against the 49ers. I can't see them really beating the 49ers. Which
I don't
should put them in a good spot to get the first pick. The Colts at the Jaguars, that's actually a winnable game for the Colts.
Yep.
And that question, do you throw the game? Do you I'm hoping we see the Colts win that game so that the Rams can get the first pick. We don't need luck. We need to trade luck. And that, we got Bradford. I'm satisfied with Bradford, but we need some picks. We need to get some lines in.
Should be.
And maybe we'll see Chucky back, or not back in St. Louis, but in St. Louis next year.
Early reports are that he's not coming back. But personally, we'll see where it goes, but my personal opinion, Luck's overrated.
I agree with you, but if we can take advantage of it,
all right,
why not?
Let's go over and take a look at 4 games. 4 games this week that, interestingly enough, not the greatest quarterback matchups in the world, but games nonetheless that are going to have an impact. We first game 4:15 on Sunday. All the games are on Sunday. 4:15 on Sunday. We got Baltimore 11-4 at Cincinnati, who are 9-6. Cincinnati's fighting to get into the playoffs. They're at Cincinnati. Cincinnati has got a sold-out crowd in front of them. Last week, the Baltimore Ravens are coming off that win over the Cleveland Browns, 20-14. Joe Flacco, typical Flacco day, 11-24, 132 yards. He had a 73.6 QB rating. It was a Ray Rice game. That's where it was. 23 carries, 87 yards. He had another 3 receptions for 48 yards and 1 TD. The Bengals came through for me, which was nice, even with my buddy Andy Dalton. Last week, they won over the Arizona Cardinals, 23-16. Dalton was 18 of 31, 154 yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions, 92.7 QB rating. Cedric Benson had 2 fumbles in that game. He lost both of them. Jermaine Gresham, 5 receptions, 56 yards, 1 TD. Okay. Ravens are favored in the game by 2. Where do you see it?
I'm going with the Ravens on this one. You know, Ray Rice, that guy.
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
He's just a machine.
The team.
He's a machine.
The team.
Cincinnati's, according to my sources at NFL.com, Cincinnati's 1-6 versus teams with a winning record. I understand that Cincinnati's pumped for this game, but I really think the Ravens are going to take this game.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, I'm picking Cincinnati because it is a must-win for them to get into the playoffs, and 2, they are playing at home, and they've got themselves a home field crowd, sellout crowd. So I got to pick Cincinnati on that game. All right, we're jumping over to game 2. Game 2, we got Kansas City. Kansas City 6-9 at Denver 8-7. This is a 4 o'clock game as well. Kansas City, they had a good game last week in that loss. Mm-hmm. They had a loss to the Oakland Raiders 16-13. They really had a good game. Kyle Orton was 21 of 36 for 300 yards, 1 TD. Yes, he had 2 interceptions. He had a quarterback rating of 71.5. However, Kansas City had 435 yards offense to the Raiders' 308. Jackie Battle came in there. Thomas Jones came in there with 107 yards. Dexter McClusker and Dwayne Bowe picked up another 169 yards in the air. Denver Broncos, on the other hand, last week, absolutely horrible game.
It was
horrible. I mean, they lost to the Buffalo Bills 40-14. I didn't even know who to put up here on the screen back here. So I put Tebow 13 of 29, 185 yards, 1 TD, 3 interceptions, 4 sacks, 1 fumble lost, a 37.9 QB rating. Absolutely horrible game. Buffalo's defense against them scored 3 TDs off of turnovers. Yet, Broncos are favored by 3.
Yeah. Did Buffalo find out how to beat Tebow? Because we said this a couple weeks back. I think defense plus you can't let them stay in the game. That's how Tebow gets these games. You can't keep them close.
The fourth quarter miracle thing?
Yeah. You got to run up.
Got on him early.
Yep. Get on him early, and he's out. Oh. Because he's good for 2 drives at the end of the game, and if it's close, you just lost your game because you didn't put the hammer down.
Well, Broncos are favored by 3. Where do you see it?
I'm going with Tebow.
I'm going with the Broncos Denver as well. This is that's a fight for the AFC West division, and that leads us right over to the next game. San Diego 7-8 at Oakland 8-7. San Diego last week. Come on, that was a ho-hum game. They came off a loss to the Detroit Lions 38-10. Phillip Rivers 28 of 53, 299, 1 TD. 2 interceptions, 60.2 QB rating. Nothing more to talk about. Let's get it straight. And we already talked about the Oakland Raiders a little bit. This was not. They won against the Kansas City Chiefs, but it really wasn't a great win. Carson Palmer was 16 of 26, 237 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions, 72.1 QB rating. Mike Busch had 23 carries for 70 yards. Penalties again. Hey, it's Oakland, 15 for 92. Raiders are favored by 3. This is going to decide the AFC West. And we already just got done talking about the Denver game. So this is going to make for an interesting situation. Raiders are favored by 3. Where do you see it?
I'm going to go with the Raiders on this one. Now, they've lost, with the exception of the win last week, they've lost 3 out of the last 4. So they're not doing too well. But,
I agree.
But I think the Chargers have imploded. They had a couple weeks where we thought they might, the Chargers are making a run for the playoffs. And then last week you saw what Chargers did. Back to the way they've been playing the rest of the season. So I'm going to go with the Raiders on this one.
I'm going with the Raiders as well, and I think it's going to make for a very, very interesting setup for what's going to happen in the AFC West. Last but not least, the big one of the entire weekend, 8:20. In fact, NFL has flexed it. We got Dallas 8-7 at the New York Giants. How about them Cowboys? Yeah, at 8 we got the Giants who are 8-7. Dallas last week, they're coming off that loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, they didn't have Tony Romo in there. I'm not even going to mention Steve McGee's numbers. It's not even worth mentioning. And without DeMarco Murray, Dallas just looks like they have absolutely no running game whatsoever. I don't know where this Dallas team is going to go. The Giants, on the other hand, they're coming off that win against the New York Jets, 29-14. Eli Manning, in my opinion, while it wasn't last week, has had a terrific season. A fabulous season, and frankly, I think he should have made the Pro Bowl. He was 9-27, however, last week for 225 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception, a 65.1 QB rating. Victor Cruz, my gosh, he has been the team. Last week, 3 receptions, 164 yards, and a TD. Bradshaw helped out with 15 carries and 54 yards. They had a great mix, and they have all year, the Giants have, of mixing up the rushing game with the passing game. I think the Giants are the best team in the East. Absolutely. I'm picking the Giants. They're favored by 3.
Well, this is going to be my bomb diggity bomb pick of the week. And I'm sorry, I got to go the opposite. I'm rooting for the Cowboys on this one.
That's a violation.
Well, yeah.
I'm not on that Eli bandwagon. So,
All right.
We'll let that lie.
We'll see where that one goes. Alrighty. We got some other fun coming up this weekend. We got some other fun. And we got some kind of 21st century traditional fun coming up for the New Year's weekend. Yeah, we got the bowl games. We got Sunday football, but we got a Winter Classic. NHL Winter Classic is going to be being played down there at Citizens Bank Park on Monday. Monday, January 2nd, it's going to be at 1 o'clock. And we've got the Flyers against the Rangers. And a great matchup, great rivalry between these two teams to begin with. But the talk and the buzz has been about the alumni game. The alumni game, which is going to be played actually on New Year's Eve down there at Citizens Bank Park. The alumni game's got people in it like Bernie Carant, Bobby Clark, and Eric Lindros, and John Leclerc. This is just fun stuff. And the NHL, I think, has done just a fabulous job in the past number of years in really promoting and bringing NHL awareness by virtue of bringing the Winter Classic, an traditional outdoor classic hockey game. Just fabulous stuff. You gonna be checking it out?
I'm gonna be right here with you guys.
Alrighty, we're looking forward to that. That's good.
Fireplace all fired up. We'll have our Flyers gear on. We'll be all fired up for this one.
I hope you're going to be here for that alumni game, which is actually going to be on New Year's Eve. That's the game. I'm telling you, that's going to be the good game. Alrighty, that's our wrap for a New Year's edition of 5 Minutes at the Frat House. We want to thank everybody who has been following us for all these 17 weeks or so. You can bet we're going to be right back here in a new year, 2012.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be bringing you playoffs next week. NFL playoffs next week. All right? Keep it going. We'll see you then.